and this is more for the businesses out there, what should they look for in terms of making sure that each payment gateway or whatever provider it is, that it is truly unique, that they properly diversify themselves, and are not linked to the same single point of failure, let's call it.
Yeah, right. There's $1 million question right there, right? So if someone could know that, then obviously that would resolve a lot of issues in the industry as a whole. But yeah, that's correct. You mentioned an interesting point that you as a business owner need to take responsibility to have the relevant advisors and professionals in your team to help you in this very complex environment. In the same way that you have a legal team to make sure that whatever you write down in a contract and whatever you sign is legit and there is no opportunity for slippage. It's the same thing with payments. Now, what I see, which in my opinion is a huge mistake, that people are hiring accountants or lawyers or even developers because of the integrations and the data security and whatnot to handle their payments. And they might not have internally or externally the relevant people to advise them on those risks. And what you don't know, you don't know. So if you think that you can actually manage your own legal affairs as well. The risk is on you, however, right? So I can look at the contract, and me not being a lawyer, I can advise that, oh, it looks good, let's sign it, right? In the same way, when you're getting approached by a bank, a financial institution, a PSP or something, you can look at them and you say, I know you, we went to the same school, I trust you enough, here's my €1 million. Would you really want to do that? Well, it's your responsibility and your decision as a business owner. So I have to highlight that if you really want to minimize your risk, you do need help. And now we see more and more that with the compliance addition, with us being in the high-risk industry with forex brokerages and investment firms and whatnot, it is a high-risk industry on its own. You do need to understand all those risks which are surrounding you, because there are a lot of gray area. And even though your legal team might say, that's legal, go for it. The bank might say that, yes, it is legal. However, there is an opportunity for wrongdoing, so I'm not going to take the risk with you. And you might end up with all those payment service providers or banks or any other financial institution who says that, yeah, give me your money, that's fine. I have multiple like you balancing on the gray area, and I'm taking the risk. If one of you fails, then I might fail with it. But is it really where you want to keep your funds? Is it really someone that you want to work with on the long term? And that's why you need to have someone who has a deeper understanding of the banking setup, how the payment service providers work, what are the fees that you are being charged and why, how to optimize those fees in case that there is even an opportunity. Is there any possibility to go back and renegotiate the terms and conditions? Because many times I've seen that we just opened a bank account 20 years ago and we are working with them ever since. Why? Because we never thought about renegotiating anything. So there could be a lot of low-hanging fruits in the payment operations that you can optimize. You can improve. There are new payment methods. There are new fees. There are new options. Your business is changing. The payment service provider is changing. Everything is changing. And the second part that you mentioned, that many times those payment service providers are just, let's say, the front end for a very complex network of banking and other financial services providers who are just summarizing into one end payment service provider or gateway which is offering those services to you. And you might not even know that who is the underlying bank. Because let's say that you're signing an agreement with PSPA, it's an internal information that what PSPA is doing at the background. How do they diversify their own portfolio? What is their risk appetite? What is the high-risk clients that they may take, what you obviously don't know about because this is not public information. Then how do they handle your payments? When they are taking your client's card or mobile wallet, what is the route that payment is actually taking? And they are being at the front end, which they are giving you the customer service and the data security and the fraud alert and whatnot. They still need to be connected to the bigger banking setup which is globally moving the funds. And this is the way that if someone is paying you from China or from South Africa or from Argentina, the banks are overall understanding how those funds are moving, and then you get your settlement from that PSP. Now, as we said, that there are a lot of information which is not public information. So in this way, you can either guess, you can do your due diligence, you can pray and hope for the best. But overall, you do need to understand that what is the risk that you are taking, because many times it happens that one payment provider might overdo their risk appetite a little bit. There is a bad apple in the whole pool, and then that bad apple gets some kind of a chargeback or a complaint or a refund request, and then the whole financial institution gets investigated as a whole. Now, whoever that financial institution is giving them the channel, PSP A, PSP B, or even you directly integrate with the bank, that could be you as an end user, all those funds are being frozen on the financial institution level. What can you do about it? Collect as much information as you can and make the relevant decision, but diversify, and make sure that there is no bottleneck in any way in your operation when there is one financial institution is holding you by the by the collar and then
say it.
and then can squeeze you up to a point when they can absolutely demolish your company.
If you liked that video and you want to watch the full episode, it's available here. Remember to like, subscribe and share. It helps the channel.